Wonderful. Thank you so much. What an inspiring moments with Greg and Frank. And I'm going to want to disconnect to reconnect with the land. That's how I'm going to continue to move forward after today for a long time moving forward. Team Trash Index. That's us. Stevie, Rob, Andrea, and Dana. We're really here to talk to you a little bit about how we think we can really make a difference in the goal of driving zero waste by 2030. So we all know right now, flooding, fires, heat domes. We all know climate change is happening. This is the issue we face, as well as waste and the impact of trash. What's the problem that we're wanting to solve? We see that unnecessary waste is a major contributor to climate change, and that emissions from Canadian landfills account for a large amount of natural methane emissions. The other big change is just a lack of interest, a lack of awareness, a lack of engagement. And so we want to solve both of these problems. Something that really captured us in our discussion was that we noticed that people really do keep track of data when it matters to them. And right now with COVID, everyone is watching the numbers. And so we were starting to ask, well, why don't people do that with the environment? Why aren't we asking about the numbers around our planet and Mother Earth? And why aren't we able to do that? And part of what we feel is that people will want to see some information, but also in a compelling way. And what can that compelling be way to spur them to action, just as in the case with COVID? When we did some of our research, we noticed that other municipalities around the world were creating some really interesting contests and campaigns around activities that resonate in the community, things that are colorful and interesting, that can also make interesting ways to share through social media, and consistent messaging.
So for us, it all came down to community engagement. People want to do the right thing, but a lot of times they don't know what to do. And more importantly, they don't know that even if they do things, if their actions really matter. They need feedback in order to get engaged. They need a reason. They need a way to keep score. And this is why we propose the trash index. So we pulled this information. This is from the Glenmore landfill. Now, the information is there. We see how much waste we produce every year, how much per person. All of the information is there. But we had to dig for it, and it lacks context. So I have an engineering background, and if there's one thing I've learned from all the presentations I've done is a data table is only compelling information to engineers and insurance brokers. So we need a better way. So recall that COVID dashboard. So we asked, what if we had a trash dashboard? So picture the COVID dashboard, but actually look on there, if we had on there compelling information for all of our different regions, along with our target of being trash zero by 2030, and what if it was broken down into the subcategories that make a difference to us, our electronics, our household waste, paper, plastic, all of our compostables, which clearly is a large part. And what if that information was posted on a simple website? What if it was up on Castanet every day so we could look at it the way we do the COVID numbers? And then it would be available for people to share on social media so we could start talking about it. So what's our ask? Our ask is that we have the municipalities create partnerships in order to deliver the information for that trash index. And then we ask the media outlets to actually share that information, not on page 17, but on page 1, the same way we see the COVID numbers every day. And then more importantly, we ask the individuals, all of our citizens, to support this initiative. It takes tax dollars. It's not expensive, but it's not free. And more importantly, after committing to your tax dollars, we ask you all to engage and participate. Here's the milestones and dates. They're all laid out in front of you. We need monthly audits. We figure we could start that by March. You might ask why so soon and why so frequent? Because we don't have time to waste, and once a year is definitely not going to be enough to engage. Our expectation is with a regular trash index, this can become the new water cooler talk, replacing today's COVID numbers. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I think it'd be nice to see a different index other than the COVID one once in a blue moon, wouldn't it be? So I think at this point, you're probably winning the battle just to start with from that side of things. I mean, I don't think people realize how much waste they ship out of their individual household on a day-to-day basis, right? I mean, I think it's probably a figure that would just make you curl up in a ball to a certain extent. So, I think it's certainly a wise thing. A promising number I think I saw in those stats you gave is that waste seems to be lessening, actually, which I thought would actually go up considering we've all been cooped up in our house over the last year, particularly in 2020. So that's a little promising thing I saw out of that. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. It would be very interesting to see how municipalities or the provincial government or whomever, has the bandwidth to be able to do something like this, or how they would help fund it. But yeah, I think, overall the context and the general idea of it is a great one. I think it would be a humbling one for most people to see. So.
Go ahead, Janice.
Yeah, great job, and very, very powerful concept. I think that is in itself a very creative and innovative approach. I can see being a powerful complement to a number of other, maybe a suite of other measures and challenges. So yeah, definitely a worthwhile and powerful piece of the puzzle. Thanks.
I echo everyone's comments, and obviously, as you identified, there's always a lack of awareness, engagement, and interest in, especially in data, ironically. And when actually framed in a way that people can relate to, is so critical to that educational piece, right? So great points. Spending tax dollars, obviously very, very challenging to get buy-in for that. They want to see things that are fiscally sustainable. But at the same time, where you can demonstrate that return on investment as you have, especially when it's related to current assets within our own public infrastructure, is very, very important. So well done to all of you.